So we're going to go through the 17th move of this whole 35 sequence of yoga, Pilates, Qigong sequence. It's a mixture of the yogic breath, the Pilates breath, and the Qigong sequence. Gone straight through the 8 brocades and done it in this style. And now we're adding on the 18 Qigong sequence onto that, and then a 9 form sequence. So 3 forms together of Qigong, but with all this Pilates setup, yogic setup, and hypnotic setup with the breath. Okay, so again, this is the 9th move of the 18 form Qigong sequence. Doesn't matter, you can do these segmentally or the order I'll put them in, it doesn't matter. I'll put in brackets what number, what form it is, 35, and I'll put the number of this specific move. And again, doesn't matter, you can do this together or you can do these segmentally in the form I put them. So the first thing I'm going to do is go with the breathing. So let's get the breathing right before we start. The move is the pushing palms, or turning waist and pushing palms. Within the traditional form of Qigong or Qigong, what you want to call it, they're believed to help different specific meridians, okay, with the motion and the movement. Again, you can specifically focus on them or not. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm a firm believer that the breath will affect every organ in a beneficial way, because that breath will manifest in every single organ, cell, sinew of the body. Okay, so with this, we're going for the pushing palms, which within the traditional form is believed to help the bowels, bladder, stomach, large intestine, and the pericardium. There's all meridians linked to them, which I've gone into more detail on another video, but I'm not going to go into that on this one. Okay, so with this, going to move just that foam roller out of the way. So again, let's get the breathing. So we're going to go with the Pilates path first. We're going to zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. They go together. You can't do one without the other. Okay, so again, just specifically, we're going to go zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. Straight away, as you right now, breathe in through the nose and exhale through pursed lips. You'll feel that breath going low and deep to these lower lobes of the lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Okay, that'll naturally happen because right now, as you do that, as you'll feel, there's nowhere else for the breath to go apart from into these lower lobes of the lungs. Okay, to further see that breath go into the lower lobes of the lungs, you get these 2 middle fingers touching underneath what we call the xiphoid process, the sternum, the breastbone. You're going to breathe in through the nose and exhale through pursed lips as you still zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. And you'll see this happen with the fingers. You'll feel this happening, this motion with the fingers. Breathing in and exhaling, keeping these shoulders down because they want to come up sometimes. A lot of us are very overactive in these upper traps, and you'll feel that breath come into the lower lobes of the lungs. So much though you feel the 2 middle fingers slightly part like seaweed on the bottom of the seabed. Okay, slightly parting and coming back to touch each other. Just give that a feel as you right now zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. You can leave the hands here or just let them down. Safe in the knowledge that breath's going anywhere but the stomach, because there's nowhere else the breath to go apart from into these fish gills, 3D style. Breathing in organ deep, bone marrow deep, into these lower lobes of lungs. Keep breathing organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep, into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. It's what we call lateral thoracic breathing in Pilates. Helps us use our corset muscle, the transverse abdominis and the pelvic floor, in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe anywhere but the belly. Okay, lovely. So what we call the transverse abdominis, the corset muscle, 3 layers deep, is supporting spine in that Pilates manner. And as you keep on breathing in through the nose, follow the journey all the way in through the nose and exhale through pursed lips, as if you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. You'll feel that breath going low and deep into these lower lobes of lungs, adding width to the lungs and length to the out breath, that lovely free expansive breath. Keep on breathing in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep. Lovely. So with that, we're going to make this slightly more yogic now, or more like similar to the Ashtanga, a few slight difference, the Ashtanga yoga style. We're going to just close the mouth and it even further lengthen the whole will cycle of the breath. So you're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. As you still zip up pelvic floor and scoop out the abdominals, you'll feel that whole will cycle of the breath further lengthen. Okay? Allow that to happen within the, that's a more sort of a yogic principle in there. That whole will cycle of the breath lengthens, and that gets you into your asanas, etc. in a beneficial way. And as you feel the whole will cycle breath of the breath lengthen, as you're doing that right now, as you're still zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, but breathing in and out through the nose, you can stick with that or go more for the Ujjayi breath, victorious breath in Sanskrit. We grip at the esophagus and make a sighing breath to further lengthen the will cycle of the breath. So again, you grip at the esophagus and make a sort of soft, sweet, sighing, silky breath from the back of the throat. It's like going with your mouth shut. Like going with the mouth shut. So it sounds like this. So it's a that raspy sound from the back of the throat will help stimulate the thyroid gland, which helps with weight control, etc. Helps us build the heat within the body, helps us fan the fire to burn all the toxins in the body even further with that Ujjayi breath. If you can't get it, don't worry, it's advanced breath. Just stick to breathing out through the nose and still zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals. And whether that's with the Ujjayi breath or not, we're going to lengthen the out breath purposely longer than the in breath. So as we do that with Ujjayi breath or not, okay, we're going to breathe in through the nose as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals still, and elongate the out breath longer than the in breath. Quadruple it, double it, triple it, whatever you like the out breath, just make it longer than the in breath. So it goes slightly into the sort of hypnotherapy type breath, or the 7-11 breathing, or 5 and 10. Everyone's count will be different. Not that we're counting with this. That's more of a traditional hypnotherapy breath. We're just making the out breath longer than the in breath, because the in breath is conscious thought, the out breath is subconscious thought. So by extending that out breath longer than the in breath, we're encouraging sleep, digestion, rest, and relaxation, all on that lovely elongated out breath. As you're still zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, breathing out through the nose, either with Ujjayi breath or not. If you've got the Ujjayi breath, that'll give the mind something to focus on even more. Helps relax the mind. But otherwise, just no matter what breath you're doing, be aware of the sound of the breath, to feel the breath as it weaves that tapestry of relaxation in every single organ, cell, sinew of the body. Lovely. So let's go for some breath calibrated movement. Again, vinyasa in Sanskrit and yoga, they call that. But again, we're sticking it with Qigong posture, which is like a sort of pushing palms, is basically like a pack cell sort of block, really. But we're just going back and forth with it. Now, again, as with all these Qigong postures or any body systems, you need to put modifications with it. You can either just stand naturally here, turn in off that skewer very gently, or go a little bit deeper, but I would go no deeper than knees in line with toes. Keep the Iyengar yoga principles in there, okay? Or less if you like, but don't let your knees go past your toes. Again, there's different schools of thought on that, but I'm going to stick to the old school traditional safety, but just stand up naturally if you just want to get the meditative benefits and relax. If you want to make that a little bit more, stronger, then you can go down a horse riding stance further down but I wouldn't let them knees go past the toes. So again, any problems with the knees, go up a little bit higher, basically sink a little bit deeper, okay? But again, let's go from wherever you are. I'm just gonna start from here. We're just gonna get this hand motion and just allow the hands to pass across the eye line. You're gonna breathe in whenever you like and exhale. For as long as you like. Just make the out breath longer than the in breath within your limits. And then just start again when you're ready. Breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips for as long as you like. And then start again. Hands are relaxed. And just go gliding back and forth. Imagine that skewer through your head. Just turn off that skewer. Breathing through the nose and exhaling for as long as you like. Riding the wave of that out breath, encouraging them restful relaxation responses and endless streams of comfort. If you want to go deeper, or stay up high. See what suits you. Remember, it's your union of your mind and body. Only make this as easy or as hard as you like. Okay, so that was the pushing palms. Again, I've only just sort of gone over the motion bit, just more into the breath really. If you just do the breath, it's going to be something. And as you're doing that, as you're zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, even imagine someone's opening the umbrella inside your rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. And just elongate the out breath. And then just start again. Nothing set in motion with these. We're going into the sort of meditative breath with that elongated out breath. So that was number 9 of the 18 form Qigong sequence, added on to the first 8 brocades motions, okay, with this different setup there. So that is, so 9 and 8 that's the 17th move, but we've also got a 9 form added on. So basically that's the 17th move of the whole 35, 3 forms put together. But don't get too caught up in this moves this, it must be like this. Because again, traditionally you would breathe into the belly like a balloon with a lot of traditional Qigong stuff. But again, it's just body, it's just movement. So don't get too caught up in it. I'm just adding a few mixes in, it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit of movement with breath. And you can focus on all them organs that I put on different videos and that, the organs, but really they specifically with each motion affect individual organs, meridians, electromagnetic rivers. But if you focus on any organ, you're gonna visualize that and benefit it with your visualization. So you can either do that or not, don't get too set. Just go with it. If you feel good, if it feels good, great. If it don't do it. It's not the end of the world. So we've got, that's the end of that one. Bang. Number 18 coming up next.